Right, as many of you have probably heard by now, there has been a massive acid attack, or alkaline chemical attack as they're now calling it for some weird reason. But yeah, another acid attack has happened in London, and this one was pretty brutal compared to the rest of them. Not trying to say any of the other ones weren't brutal, but this one is brutal to say the least. So I'm going to treat this like my vaping video, my previous one, where I'm going to let this video play, I'm going to interrupt it and give my own views and opinions. And by the way, this video is going to be Carolina Reaper level of spicy in terms of my views and opinions. I think Rumble would delete my video, never mind YouTube. So if you really want to hear uncensored opinions and views from me, you can find me over on Twitter at rant-A-holic, or X, whatever you want to call it. Links in the description. And these are my other videos as well, if you want to give that a little cheeky nosy as well. This is my best performing video, this is my most controversial video ever made. But yeah, let's get into this.
Abdul Shokoor Ezedi.
Abdul Shokoor Ezedi, yeah, he gets a silver medal from me. The only way he would have gotten gold if his name is Mohammed. Of course it's when was the last time you heard an acid or a stabbing attack or a bombing or just a raping happening and it was just Keith from Lancashire? Keith Shelby of Lancashire. It's always these people.
Is a man at large as the hunt to find him.
Also, I'd like to say this is the absolute reason why, you know, incest or inbreeding is absolutely frowned upon.
Builds. Here, injured. This is the most recent picture of the 35-year-old man who attacked a mother with a corrosive alkaline on this street in South London. Her children, aged just 8 and 3, were not spared, and all 3 were scorched by the substance as their mother called out for help from nearby residents.
When she came to the bottom of the steps, said, my eyes, her face just looked sore, her lips looked black. And it's like, at the time, because she was speaking, it's like she was swallowing the substance as well. So she started, like, a lot of, like, foam was still coming from her mouth. And I was just like, yeah, water, just get her water.
Right, I'm just going to pause the video here because something's jumped to mind. A lot of overall news outlets in the UK are actually not focusing on the real reason or just the overall attack that happened. They're blaming misogyny and also whining about microaggressions towards the attacker himself. The fucking UK needs to be carpet bombed from John O'Groats to fucking Cornwall or even napalm strike. Just getting fucking British people are just beyond brain cancelled at this point. There's no surviving. There's no saving these.
This is the water and eye wash gathered to relieve those burns beside the nearby hotel. But in the rush to help, 4 members of the public and 5 police officers were injured by the corrosive substance after the...
Yeah, so the victims was a 3-year-old, an 8-year-old and a mother who were the main target of this random attack. And I think it was 4 bystanders and 5 police officers were also attacked by this acid or accidentally came in contact with the acid lying about in the ground or the car or even the victims themselves. But yeah, alkaline acid, yeah, fuck that. That is fucking beyond horrible. They're trying to say that this was a planned attack, but I don't think it is. I think this was completely random, but we'll get into that in a second.
Attack. Ezedi had tried to escape in this white Hyundai car before crashing. Now on foot, there is concern about whether he could attack again.
Yeah, this wasn't a one and done thing. People like that, people like him always do this multiple times until someone kills them or they're arrested and charged.
It seems that it is quite a specific attack, so I do want to assure them that there is not, at the moment, believed to be anybody going around carrying out random attacks.
You being in London and saying that is the most retarded thing I've ever said. Understand you're specifically talking about the attacker in question, but he would do this again given an opportunity, which is why he needs to be fucking, you know, one tap GG well played as soon as fucking possible. But yeah, acid attacks, knife attacks, you know, shootings and rapings and all this stuff that's happening in the UK, it's becoming a plural on a daily basis. Like, it's happening multiple times in every single square inch of the UK. The way that I describe the UK now, it's an upper class third world country. It's a third world country because, again, import the third world, become the third world. It's, wow, what a mind-blowing thought that is, honestly, as well. Yeah, given a chance, he will do this again, and there'll be plenty more acid attacks from other people with Abdul or Mohammed or Shakhaim, fucking names like that will be doing this. There'll be plenty more zombie knife stabbings and killings and shootings and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Because if you're not white, you have immunity from the law, essentially.
The victims of the attack were guests at this hotel that provides emergency accommodation. The main targets are believed to have known their attacker, who the police say came from Newcastle. But before officers arrived on the scene, he had fled.
Yeah, so again, I'll get in a bit more of this towards the end, but the attacker was a twice denied asylum seeker who entered the UK illegally through a delivery truck. He was denied twice. Then the third time he was accepted because he changed his religion to Christianity. We've seen that before. I'll mention that at the end of the video. And because of that, he was allowed to stay in the UK, even though he was denied twice. But him changing his religion kept him in the UK as well. Also, this guy had a sexual charge on him as well for basically flashing people in public, which again is extremely similar to the whole Sarah Everard case. Again, I'll get into this whole thing towards the end. Also, all the people that actually knew him in Newcastle said that this whole conversion to Christianity was bullshit. He was still a hardcore Muslim. I should also mention, this is your taxpayers' money paying for €3 that's sprayed in the face with acid. Just want to give you that. Just saying, it's your tax money that's paying for these people to legally allow them to have acid being thrown in free faces.
Left the scene, but the injuries to the female and children, they're in a stable condition, but we are just monitoring, but they don't seem to be life-threatening, but at this time they could be life-changing. We take...
Fuck you on about could be. Have any of you have ever seen any documentaries about acid attacks, especially in London? There's so many people's faces or bodies who have been dialed up to an 11 of levels of absolute what's the word that I'm looking for? They've been beyond disfigured and looks like their face is just melted off, and there's no amount of technology in the medical scene and the planet could save you from that. I'm sorry, once that's done, it's done to you, essentially. And this is becoming more and more common, especially within city centres. And the further you travel down the UK, the more and more this gets common, especially in London. One of the furthest points down in the UK, this is just a daily basis. Stay away from cities. Stabbings, raping, shootings, acid attacks, and just getting jumped and mugged and just killed, and just stay away. The third world, the UK, upper class third world country.
Violence against women and girls very seriously, and this was someone who, it's a vulnerable position she was in, and it would have been horrific and frightening. So we will do our utmost, and we will, I'm totally confident, capture the male.
Yeah, you said you want to capture this man, you said you want to, but then you're asking the public to try and help you catch this person, but for the first 24 hours after this happened, you did everything in your power not to release the name of this man or his image because you knew the second that it said Abdul, people would go, yep, stereotype, yep. And yeah, but by the way, just as a little bit of a life hack here in the UK, see, again, if there's an acid or knife or a gun or a raping or, a kidnapping or human trafficking or female genital mutilation or blah, 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 all this third world people type of shit that are now in the UK, see if any of these crimes have been committed and the police nor any news outlets in the UK say who it is, that says everything about who it is. Again, if this was like Keith Shelby, a white straight British man who did any of this, they would fucking say it, leak his address, his postcode, they would say he's going here, that and that, so they would absolutely dox this guy to high hell. But the second it's not that, they go, a male has committed a crime, and just leave it at that and back off whatsoever. So yeah, if you ever hear that a male or an adult or an individual has committed this crime, it's a black or brown guy with some fucking name. Guarantee it. Fucking guarantee.
The mother and her daughters now face life-changing injuries.
Yeah, again, they're paying their taxes to keep these people illegally in so they can be sprayed in the face with acid. So yeah, the UK, as I keep saying, fucking carpet bomb this country. There's no saving it at this point. Oh my God.
As the hunt for the man who caused them is underway. Last seen in North London's Caledonian Road, Ezedi now has injuries to the right of his face. The police say he is dangerous and if spotted to call 999.
Yeah, again, they say it's dangerous, call 999, but they gave us 24 hours not to do anything whatsoever because they didn't give us his name, his looks, his photos, nothing. Even though they had all this information hours and hours prior before they finally released it. Fucking joke. It's just a real shame that this absolute fucking spastic downy, chin dribbling, fucking window licking spastic retard. Yeah, he splashed his own face with his own acid, and so unfortunately it did not penetrate his skull and kill him. Although I don't think they would have found much behind that skull because, well, he's a third worlder, what else do you expect? But yeah, I'm going to go on one massive rant and I'm going to end the video, right? I am extremely fucking good at pattern recognition, right? One of the biggest jokes here in the UK, to the point where you have to laugh, if not you'll just Kurt Cobain yourself, is there's this running theme, a running joke in the UK where every single horrific act that is committed is always the exact same story. Yeah, we knew about this individual. He's been reported multiple times. We knew he had extremist connections. We knew this person was severely mentally unwell. Yes, they committed horrific crimes in the past that they did not get charged with in any way, shape or form. Yeah, we were watching them for years. Yeah, we didn't do anything, so they just went out and committed something that's going to be in British history now because of how horrific it is. Again, they knew about this guy. He denied access twice. The third time I allowed them in because he switched to being a Christian, which we've seen with the Liverpool bomber, and also General Butt Naked from Count Dankula's absolute mad lads as well. Again, I won't go into that. I want to keep this video as short as possible. But yeah, it's a really old trick that still works, unfortunately. Oh, I'm Christian. Oh, I'm switching to the religion of your country. Hey, welcome in, brother. You're now one of us. And they now do a terrorist attack. Yeah, but as I said, this overall thing's a common theme. Let's look at Lucy Letby, for example. Lucy Letby is someone that I called the one-day-old serial baby killer. I know that's a horrific sentence, but it is the truth. This was a lot more recent, where Lucy Letby was in a maternity ward in a hospital in Wales. I think it's the very tip of the top of Wales, I believe, but somewhere in the UK, right? And every time that she went on shift at night, or I think it was nighttime shifts, all the other NHS staffs used to say, "Oh, is that Lucy Letby on duty? Oh well, they'd grow some babies tonight, they're going to die." And it got to the point where people in the NHS were reporting Lucy Letby to higher up, saying, "I think she's deliberately killing babies en masse that are less than 1 day old." And they were told to shut the fuck up, and if you complain again, you will be fired. Turns out she was killing babies en masse, and not only that, she was going on to the grieving parents' Facebook to get off on it because she just loved that rush of, "Yeah, I killed your baby, haha, fucking fall to me." Absolute beyond demonic psychopath. Now let's go a little bit further back. Sarah Everard as well. For any of you that haven't heard, this was the police officer who was on duty in uniform who raped and killed a female teacher at the dead of night as well. And the funny thing about, I say funny thing, I don't think there's much to laugh at in these situations, honestly, but the funny thing overall is 24 hours prior to this, multiple people reported the police officer to the police, which was ignored because the police officer the prior night did the exact same, well, almost the exact same thing, where he was caught on duty in his uniform in a public fast food takeaway with his dick out, helicoptering it in people's faces, basically genital flashing in public. Multiple people reported that police officer to the police, and because they're all brothers, they went, "Nah, just slide that under the carpet." Because of that, a female teacher lost her life. Again, let's look at the Manchester arena bombing that happened back in 2017, if my memory serves me right. That suicide bomber with the nail bomb who went into the Ariana Grande concert in Manchester and blew the entire place up with a monster nail bomb that was a suicide vest, I believe. That man was illegally in the country for quite a long time, and again, they knew about him. They knew they had extremist ties. They knew he was an absolute psycho, mentally unwell criminal. They knew that he was planning something and didn't do anything. They just went, "Oh, he blew up the Manchester arena and killed fuck tons of people." Well, in our defence, duh. I mean, we knew that he's a psycho extremist. I mean, you're saying to us like you're shocked. We're not. We fucking knew this. What unjustified reaction? Like that. It's just this keeps happening over and over and over and over and over again. In fact, even looking over to Ireland as well, with a couple of kids and adults that were stabbed by a man who was denied asylum 20 years ago and was allowed to remain in Ireland finally, after 20 years, a bit of a late bloomer, but still he did it nonetheless, went on a killing spree, started stabbing a bunch of children and adults in the face, which again is a common theme within France and even in Ireland, and it's getting that way in the UK as well, where these people are just targeting kids, like the acid attack as well. I'm getting fucking beyond sick to death of this. And by the way, you know, you're paying tax to have babies have acid thrown in their faces. Can anyone comprehend that fucking sentence? You're paying high-end taxes in the highest tax country on the planet to allow these people to live a more luxurious life than British native citizens themselves can afford, so they can have the luxury of raping and killing your sons and daughters and your mothers, that you have to pay them money to do that. Honest to God, I actually put out a tweet that was saying that I think World War, basically I'm saying, I think, I'll put it up right now if you want to read it. I think there's going to be a war like we've never seen before. And I don't mean World War III, I don't mean the UK versus America or any video game or movie thing down that line. I think God, how would I word this? World Civil War 1, I think, is about to happen. I think we're going to see World War, but not countries versus countries, but worldwide citizens versus worldwide authority in their own countries, and even coming together collectively to fight off collectively. I think it's going to be a war of, essentially, the citizens are going to stand up and go and take down all levels of authority, whether that be the police, the military, or even government officials themselves, because people are getting fucking beyond sick to death of this absolute fucking bullshit. We have had enough. I keep thinking, God, I'm getting wound up myself here. I think there's going to be two different outcomes for the UK and America. I'm using them because they're the two most known countries, plus I live in one of them, right? I think the British one is going to spark war between people in any level of authority, because the police are Nazis here in the UK. They're fucking Nazis, right? Absolute. You know, they protect and serve the government, not the people anymore. I think it's going to get to the point where they're going to breach someone's house, rip a daughter or son out because they said a mean word on Twitter, and that father, and rightfully so, is going to fight back and actually kill a couple of police officers in self-defence. And he's either going to be arrested and charged, and when this news hit, all war breaks out, or the other option within that is that the armed police are going to show up and just kill the whole family, Ruby Ridge style, which will spark war within the UK, and the police officers and the military and even government officials will be dragged out and given the I almost said Al-Madrahi, sorry, God, I've forgotten his name, I'm fucking just wound up. The Gaddafi treatment, they're going to get the Gaddafi treatment, essentially dragged out and just executed. I think that's going to happen. And also, I think any Donald Trump rally or any somewhat arguable right-wing protest or march or peaceful protest is just going to go wrong one day, and the authorities are going to mad dump in the crown, Tiananmen Square style, and that'll start a true civil war in America if Texas hasn't started that, and rightfully so as well. People are getting fucking fed up of this. The UK government, the American government, even the farmers that are happening in the whole of Europe, this is all deliberate design. This is absolute 100% deliberate, and people are getting fucking fed up. And I think we're getting extremely dangerously close to a worldwide boogaloo. I really think that's going to end up happening. People who don't want to fight, who don't want to kill, who are not even Christian, they're not even Muslim, they just want to live their lives, even they're reaching a breaking point. I think we're going to see something that we've never seen before in the history of the earth. Hopefully I'm wrong, but it's a very, very rare day when I'm being proven wrong. But anyway, I'll wrap the video up there. Thank you very much for tuning in. Fuck this guy. But yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at rant-A-holic. Link is in the description. As you can see here, I tweet very spicy views and opinions as well. Talk about upcoming videos, upcoming ideas, interact with people as well. So you can go follow me over there as well. There's my previous video as well. Don't ban vapes, it's stupid. And again, this is the type of content that I make. Don't ban vapes. Arrested for not committing a crime. Scottish legal child grooming. Child grooming is going to be legalised as well. And my most famous video, I predicted lesbian Nana 2 as well. So yeah, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, it'll be greatly appreciated. The more you interact by hitting buttons and leaving a comment down below, the more you help me. We're at 939, we're getting dangerously close to 1,000, so if we can hit that, that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, thank you very much for the support. It's greatly appreciated. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything I said. If I think I've missed anything, I'll leave a comment down below to add on to the video. But yeah, I love yous all, and as always, have a great day and a better week to follow. See yous!